The pandemic really accelerated the implementation of digital services. While I can understand that policymakers and decision makers had to move very fast in this crisis situation, it's now also the time to take a step back and evaluate this high-speed digitalization and also see where it didn't work.
So it means that government needs to not only have a focus on the traditional education system and critical thinking to promote innovation, entrepreneurship for the new generation, but also to reskill and upskill the existing labor force. Otherwise, the digital divides that we've seen before the pandemic and which have been widened and cemented during the pandemic will get even worse. Some academics estimate that we have jumped the equivalent of 20 years of development in the last 2 years because we've been forced to look at technology in order to deliver services through new means, whether it's video conferencing or phones or online self-service or predictive, proactive services. That has been forced. That pedagogical, behavioral change has been required because we were forced to stay at home for almost 2 years.
The pandemic has shown us that we need more community, we need more care for people, we need to be together. When we look at new technologies, it means that we need to be able to make a leap in our thinking, that technologies must be at the service of society, of its well-being. And we need to have this values-oriented debate so that we can have an environment for AI to develop that respects this inspiration. Fundamental rights, economic development with sustainability, with inclusion, with more democracy. This is not obvious if there is not a political direction and good laws. And that's why we are working on the AI Act.
I hope that we take the opportunity that we now have to change that picture and to be a lot more intentional about what we do and how we act to solve the problem. We have a huge opportunity, but there needs to be political will. Policymakers and politicians need to embrace digital development as critical, as a key to all of their development agendas. Nowadays, you cannot do health policy without thinking about digital technology. You cannot do education policy without understanding the role of technology and access to the internet and information communications technology in education, and on and on. So to think otherwise and to not have the vision that digital development is a core element of any society development is short-sighted. So I hope that people change and reframe their thinking so that we can be a lot more intentional about the possibilities that we have.